Good morning and welcome to Minnesota PRSA Conversations. I'm Margaret Ann Hennon, a member of the PRSA College of Fellows and also of Minnesota PRSA. With me today is Joel Swanson, APR. Joel is a former Minnesota PRSA president, and he is today's Minnesota PRSA ethics officer. Joel is going to share with us today an important lesson that he learned about ethical public relations practice and decision-making during his career. Joel?
Thank you, Margaret Ann. I think ethics is a critical topic for those who are interested in corporate communications, public relations, and especially moving into that consultative role and strategic roles and leadership roles later in their career. And one of the formative experiences that I had was back a number of years ago now when I worked at Blue Cross, and we were suddenly found out we were being sued by the Attorney General around mental health benefits. And it was something we'd been working on behind the scenes. Margaret Ann knows this topic because she was in healthcare in that time too. And first of all, I was asked as a young PR person to rush to the Capitol to the press conference because nothing had been given to us ahead of time. And so I rushed off to the Capitol and found the Attorney General's conference room and was promptly escorted out and kicked out of their press conference just for being from Blue Cross, from the place that they were suing, which I didn't know was possible, but a valuable lesson in sort of politics and ethics there. And then over time, what happened was at the time, mental health benefits were paid differently, and there was a disparity in how people treated them and how people believed in just what that meant for the individuals that were there. It's a very different world now in how we approach and feel about and talk about mental health and emotional health and substance abuse and all those topics. But at that time, the insurance world, the medical world really hadn't caught up yet. And again, our leadership had been working behind the scenes with some other political and other leaders to try to affect changes, and it was going kind of slowly. I think what happened was our leadership initially did the usual response to a lawsuit of, we're not guilty of anything, we didn't do anything wrong, we're gonna fight it, and quickly realized, I think, for a variety of reasons, that this wasn't helpful for the victims here in the case that was coming before, but also longer term, this was an avenue to make some of those changes. And eventually our leadership agreed that the best course of action was to settle and to try to move forward and use this to spur changes to, how mental health benefits are paid. And also the lawsuit settlement included being able to fund and help start what's now the Anna Weston House for eating disorders, and some really, really positive things like that came out of it that I'm very proud of, because it then not only did we make some changes, but it was wrapped in with other insurers came along and signed off on that too. And it was sort of the beginning of paying for mental health benefits differently and treating them more like the physical health pieces. And that focus, that lesson of, don't forget about the long term, don't forget about the people involved and the victim, in this case, victims involved, but long term, the change you're trying to affect, this might not have been the way you wanted it, but it was an opportunity to move it along faster and get it done. And I am very proud of our leadership, the folks that were in charge those days, for making that leap and making that change. Even though it wasn't ideal, some good came out of it. And that was something that I've taken with me, is that don't forget about the people and the long-term impact along the way. And the opportunities to give counsel as a PR person, those are the times when they're listening to you for that very rational, that important voice of, who are the people impacted. And that's I think a great role that PR practitioners can provide.
Great. Thank you so much, Joel. It's great to hear from you this morning, and maybe more of us can benefit from what you learned in that experience. Thank you.
Thank you.